Welcome back, everybody. In this video, we're going to continue learning about the domain name system. Specifically, we're going to take a look at this right here. How does the authoritative name server know that dogs.com is at that specific IP address? I mean, web pages are popping up thousands a day. How does it keep track of all this stuff and know where to send you? We sort of saw how the system works, but how does that number get in there in the first place onto this server? Well, let's walk you through an example of somebody, me, starting a totally new website, purchasing a name, and how it gets in the system. So here's sort of the general flow of what you would do. So before you start working on your website, you probably want to get the name first, right? Because you're going to probably have the name on your website. So let's go check names. So what I do is I go to the internet, and one place you could go is you just want to go somewhere where you can check what names are available and if you can buy them. GoDaddy's a popular one. I'm not saying use them, but this is a nice simple site that works here on my video. And you'll see at the top of their page, I can enter a domain name and I can check. So I'm going to enter something that I know is already taken. Okay, dogs.com. And I search. And it's going to tell me, sorry, it's taken. You can go find out who owns it and stuff like that. That's for another video maybe one day. But it'll also give you recommendations for other ones that are available. And you'll see some for sale, right? Big ripoffs here. And you'll see some like that you may actually like dogs.promo. Oh, that's only 18 bucks, right? So you eventually find one. Well, I want one that's totally fresh. So I'm going to call it supercoolcoder.com. I'm going to do a search. And it says it's available. And check this out. It'll say it's available for only $2.99, right? If I buy it for 2 years or more. Now, this is pretty cheap. Usually it costs about $10, $15 a year. The scam here is this is $3 now, but the price probably goes up to $20 a year later. So you got to read the fine print, right? But you're generally talking about $10, $15 a year to own the name. So let's say I buy that name, okay? Put my credit card in, and now I own it. I now own supercoolcoder.com. Now, when I go back to my picture here, what I have to do, I'm going to be asked about, is they're going to ask me when I buy the name, they're going to give me a little account, and they're going to say, where would you like that name to point? The .com, it was a .com address, so the GoDaddy people that I just bought it from, they're going to connect me up with the .com server here, so I can enter in supercoolcoder.com, and I need an address. And of course, well, what's the address? Well, I don't know it yet because I haven't taken up my web page or my website. So I log out and I'll come back and I'll tell them that number a little later. So then my next step is I go find a hosting company where I can host my web pages. So I'm going to show you another one. These are guys I use just for cheap web hosting. But Bluehost is a web hosting company, right? Their job is basically make it easy to host web pages. You can see here for a site that's not going to have a lot of traffic, $3 a month. Okay, it's not very much. $10 a month is typical. For just a little personal site that doesn't have a lot of traffic, you pay little amounts, right? You pay like $3 to $10 a month. Big sites, you got to pay more because obviously their computers are going to be doing more work for you, right? So they're not all $3 a month. But you go here, you give them your credit card, you buy the $3 a month plan, and they give you some space on their server where you can put your web pages. Now, when they give you that, they are going to tell you an address. So pretend this is Bluehost here. They're now going to have your web page. So let me undo here. And I put my web page up there. And they tell me when I log into my web hosting, they say, oh, by the way, your page address is this. So they give you that number. Now up here, when we are looking at supercoolcoder.com, you can tell them, and you log back into that address, and you basically just tell them, oh, by the way, I'm the owner of SuperCoolCoder. That's the address where my web page is currently being hosted. The nice thing is you can always log in here and you can change that number if you decide to move your web page to a different location. And that's part of why this system is sort of nice, right? Everybody has a little job. They keep your web page, they keep track of the number, right? You got to tell them. These guys keep track of where the .coms, .net, .org servers are. You know, the whole system's organized very nicely. So what you can have here is you can have thousands of people purchasing, you know, .net web addresses, and .net will keep track of all the .net addresses with the IP addresses, and they get those IP addresses in the list whenever you or the person that owns the website has to tell them. They log into their account and they say, hey, this is my name, this is the IP address you have to send it to. And that's really that. And then that whole system now works, right? Where the resolver gets to contact everybody and find out the pages. Now, what happens if you take your web page down? Well, now whenever everybody's sent to this address, you get that error 404, website not found, because it's not there anymore. What happens if you don't pay your bill and pay for your name when the next year comes? Well, guess what? They basically just take this name and IP address off the list. It's as if it doesn't exist anymore. So it's a nice system. That's basically it. You know, for 10, 20 bucks, you could go get yourself a web page and a name, go make a few $1 million. Thanks for watching.